So my bad, y'all. The last segment, right? She's new, but she's not new. But anyways, the last segment, people, and this is the ultimate segment. As we know, and you see the picture on the screen, Ghost at the end of the season 6 of Power wanted Tariq to confess to his crime as being the killer of Ray Ray, and because of he shot his sister, right? And Tariq was a little skeptical whether or not Ghost would actually hold it down for him, to actually help him get out. He felt like Ghost should have just took the route. But like Ghost told Tasha, if he admit to it, he's the head, and they're gonna investigate the entire family. And if they investigate the entire family, then they all gonna go down. So the question, I don't have the video for this. I think this one is so popular, everybody should know this, except experience. She don't know it, but basically the question is, what's Ghost right to tell Tariq to turn himself in, or should they have possibly went a different route? Appreciate the super, Demarcus. Steve, the drug dealer who laced L's drugs, could be been working for Mahoney and get Braden to replace him since he eliminated Steve. I'm a little confused on that. Hold on. Let me read this again. Steve, the drug dealer who laced L. Oh, shoot. I was thinking of a different person. Now I know who you're talking about. Who laced L's drugs could be working for Mahoney and get Braden to replace him since he eliminated Steve. So basically, you're saying in the new season of Legacy, basically, similar to how Milan, basically ended up extorting Ghost and Tommy because they took out, Vladimir and took his drugs, that he might end up coming back to hunt Braden for taking out Steve and force him to be his replacement. That's an interesting theory. I never thought about that, but very interesting. If I'm Tariq, I'm saying fuck that too. It's hard for anyone to trust Ghost. Okay. I don't know though, bro. I don't know. That's his dad though, bro. I was talking about this with my homies last night doing the live. Let's say Tariq does turn himself in. What he supposed to say if they ask him how did he get rid of the body? I mean, he could say a homie helped him. Yeah, Takari, buddy, you late, my boy. We don't have a whole segment. I said last month, Ghost story in season 6 needed a rewrite instead of the governor plot. Ghost should have lost everything he had and started crashing out, turning to alcoholism. So similar to Franklin, basically. They should have went a different route. The flaw was the fact Ghost and Tommy were an accessories to that murder. Them getting rid of the body was actually a vital element that no one ever spoke of. Well, yeah, a lot of that stuff was very fake. First off, you heard the like police outside the building. How the hell they get out of there so fast? How did they get out of there without any cameras spotting them? And I also, of course, I've touched on how the hell did um they not see Ghost bust that damn window open with that iron board. He already lost Raina. He watched Angela die in front of him. He needed to lose his club as the ultimate last straw. If my dad tells me he taking the blame and then switches up, then it's fuck that nigga. Let me see. Uh I mean, you how I would look at it kind of is, let's be real. Ghost then went through fire a lot of times already trying to help Tariq, right? And pretty much he hasn't he kind of pretty much came through each time Tariq needed him then. Like let's go down the line. When he was in trouble with Jukebox, what did he do? He came through, helped him, ended up saving him. When he got in trouble with Vincent, he came through, got it, helped him again. When he was in trouble with the Lakeisha situation and he thought Tommy might be after him, what did he do? He helped him out with that. Like time and time again, Ghost has been showing up for him. Also, when the blame was first coming on him and they were trying to save him, he held it down in season 5. Like, come on, bro. Really, if you pay attention, each time Ghost has been there for Tariq for all of his fuck ups. So I think it's kind of crazy to say that he wouldn't have done that for him. And for sure he is about to become the lieutenant governor. I think I would have just trusted my dad on that. Because I mean, that man Ghost had a lot of power at that point. He could have definitely got that little nigga out. Tariq going to kill Ray Ray was plot armor because what's the odd of someone walking out the building, making it easier for Tariq to go inside? True, but I mean it is possible. Ghost part of the reason Tariq was in the situation, regardless of how he look at it. What's the reasoning you speaking of? James St. Patrick was actually right with Tariq. Thank you, DeMarcus. We agree on something. I get where Ghost was coming from. I do think he was going to try to manipulate the jury selection in favor of single mothers. I still believe he was always going to help Tariq. Right. He was going to help that man. He already snitched and threw Tasha under the bus. I would think I'm next. Nigga, he snitched and threw Tasha under the bus because she was trying to help that nigga sell drugs. Now, I do feel what you're saying, though. It's New York. It's people going in and out of apartment buildings all day. Well, I can't really say too much with New York. I'm not exactly sure, but I would like to think, since it is the city that never sleeps, a better resolution that the writers didn't consider would have been for Tariq's parents to send him out of the country where he could have been extradited. Tariq could have still got a spinoff. Yeah, sending him out the country could have also have worked until the smoke cleared, for sure. And then keep in mind, with Ghost being the lieutenant governor, he could have moved things around, made sure nobody looked into their case, and cleared it out. Then told Tariq to come back. Absolutely could have been a solution. Then she selling at a daycare where it's children. Like, come on, man. All Tariq knew was drug dealers was because he kept him around them. Then was shocked and disappointed was selling drugs. He was selling drugs. Ghost was delusional. Yeah, you got a point there. I mean, the only drug dealer though that he had around him really was Ghost. I mean, was Tommy, and then later I guess you could say Dre. But he was trying to basically polish Dre's image to make him, you know, legit citizen. So Gold's downfall should have been similar to what he heard about his pops. He should have lost Club True for a good, all his assets, and became a drunk. And watching Reek be the same life as him would seeing him over the send him over the edge is what you meant. If Tariq, because Tariq was trash. We already seen Ghost snitching on Tasha daycare to the cops. His own pops snitched on drug dealers to keep young James out. He had Sean being Tariq's best friend, knowing he set up Sean's dad. Yeah, but Sean wasn't a drug dealer or nothing, and he thought they probably never was going to find out about that. Yeah, Sean was definitely smashing that wife. Why does little nigga Shay Wu be asking, "Am I doing after hours?" and don't come in there, or unless there's him to be coming in with these crazy accounts? What if Kanan set it up to have someone bust Sean knee during a game? Why would he do that though? Like, I mean, I doubt it. I don't really see the motive. I gotta start prepping for this damn morning show. For those of y'all that's interested, though, we do have some breaking news on the reparations that's prepared for tomorrow. Telling y'all that right now. A certain city has actually passed partial reparations already. So breaking news on that. We're gonna be talking about that tomorrow morning. To get Sean closer to Ghost is part of his plan to kill him and run the organization. Remember, Sean was supposed to be his mole unknowingly. That'd be absolutely diabolical if he would do that to his son just for revenge. That I don't even think he ain't good enough to do that. Who went out worse, Sean or Zeke? Mm, guess I would have to say Sean since it was his own dad that killed him, and it wasn't an accident. Zeke's was an accident. True, but that nigga Kanan could have been faking that. Hold on, what is you referring to? Bro, I swear it is so much casting and stuff like that. Folks are sending me while I'm in Memphis. It's crazy. Imagine if Jarita had learned that Kanan killed Sean and Kanan lies and says it was an accident. That actually would have been something good for us to see. Cause it's crazy, they showed Jarita one more time asking have she seen Sean. And then, of course the nigga lied and said, um, you know, he heard he had last time he heard from him he had some business with Ghost. So, they never brought her back up. It would have been nice for them to kind of touch on her story a little bit. And it actually would have been nice if they would have shown, her finding out that Kanan was the one responsible. And we get to see the aftermath of that. But, they never touched on it. Where does Kane's story go from here? He's on the run for multiple murders, including a powerful woman like Noma. Bruh, my opinion, if they do keep him going, they gonna have that nigga come back to New York. I mean, they could have him going to. He's going to Atlanta or New York. That's my opinion. I don't really see nowhere else for him to go. Atlanta or come back to New York. And then if they have him come back to New York, they're gonna have it so that Davis McLean work it out that he's able to come back. How they show Tasha and Keisha viewing Sean body, but not his own mom. Exactly, bro. I used to always say that. Shit is crazy. Can't believe you lied to me. I can't believe you got your sister killed. So we even. Hold on, what did he ask him right before he said sending you to your room? That didn't work. You lied to my fucking face. Son, how many times have you lied to me? Huh? I'm the one that think that who needs some sympathy here. Since we talking about Kane, what about Tommy? The same thing applies to him. Shit, same shit. Both of them. And honestly, I think the Tommy situation can kind of get sponged a little easier because they never should have. The feds should have never even been after Tommy because they was accusing him of something that he never did. So if Tasha could, you know, take back her statement, maybe, but I don't know because Stephen I probably wouldn't like that because he needs somebody to take the blame. That's interesting. Kane killed Noma unarmed in cold blood. There's no cleaning that up. They'll find a way. You know how they do this shit. I think Tariq version of that conversation with Ghost is the real one, to be honest. No, it's not. I believe it's not. I believe in fact I know episode 10 is the real version, not that shit. This is the award I get for killing the motherfucker that killed Raider. I mean, he did it in the police presence, so I don't know how they'll clean that up. You just never know, bro. I mean, he did and did. All right, though. So I'm about to get ready to close out soon. We can get our following remarks, last questions. It's always confusing because in episode 10, Ghost is sober, while in 15, he is drunk and put his hands on Tariq. That's why I'm saying that one. I think that one is false. I think that one's false and exaggerated. They should have had Kane go to jail and be out there with being there with Detective Carter. Then jail would have been a new cheap storyline. You know that nigga wouldn't have stayed in there long. That damn season 6 would never not be funny. Yeah, you ain't lying. Season 6 was a hilarious season, bro. The way Kane's story ended seemed like a conclusion, not open ended. I don't know how you saying that when they literally had this nigga use the instant transmission. Didn't Courtney Kemp say the Ghost episode was the most accurate perspective? Yes, she did. And why the fuck would I kill the key? This baby just popping up with crazy lies. Remember that James St. Patrick tried to get Lakeisha Grant to go to Atlanta. That would be foreshadowing that Power Legacy could be in Atlanta. Yeah, and also keep in mind, I think another hint would be that their cousin who was played by Lil Durk, I forgot his name on the show, but he was from Atlanta. Remember, they lived in Atlanta, and those were Monet's family. So that could be another hint that he's headed to Atlanta. Because remember, he said they had a whole network already out there. It would make sense for him to go out there, link up with his cousins, and eat with them. So you get it. So you get everything you want, and I get nothing, huh? I got nothing. I got nothing. You chose to have nothing. I said, get off the fucking game. Oh man. But still, the funniest part is 13 though. The version of episode 13. So you set up an ambush and risk getting myself shot? Fuck no. Who the hell is after you? The Italian stake to you. Kane can't be involved in Power Legacy while on the run. Let's be real. That show they're likely still gonna be based in New York City, like always. Y'all need to stop with these laughs right now, bro. You're a monster. Nah, I didn't kill a single mother with a child to raise. Speaking of which, what happens to Cash? Huh? You ever thought about that? What happens what happens to you if you get caught? Or better yet, if I let you get caught. Did you ever love me, Ghost? Or was that all a lie? Yeah, I loved you. But you didn't love the version of me sitting right here in front of you, did you? Remember? The biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City. That's who the fuck you love. Well, do you love your son? What kind of fucking question is that? Of course I love my son. Then why don't you love him the way that I do? Why the fuck won't you do anything to protect him? I don't do anything for that boy. That's his fucking problem. We did everything for him and we don't did everything for him. You know what? Maybe your son should to do something for himself. That man was turning up on her. That man, I just love that whole episode. That man was turning up on everybody. Yeah, running lines be funny as hell. Ruddy is hilarious, bro. Because the crazy part with Ruddy is the nigga's not trying to be funny, but he is so damn funny. I think the two funniest things for Ronnie for me is episode 4, I think, when he stopped Kanan when he was trying to get ready to go up to his building. He was like, "You rock, boy. It's Kanan. Well, who put you on, Kanan? You work for Neat? I work for myself. Ain't no way no little nigga like you moving that hair on his own. Who's guaranteeing you back?" Like, who says that? Who said anything about her? And then the other one was when he was on Famous ass. Where you going? Oh, I'm moving out. What's wrong with leaving here? Oh, nothing. I just my mama, she missed me. Why is she missing you? Huh? What the fuck so special about you that she's missing you for? Uh, Cause I'm her son. I'm my mama's son. She don't miss me. Well, you just have to take that up with your mom, man, because I don't know. Katie says you talk a lot. Huh? Hey, you said that? Nobody likes people that talk, except maybe your moms. Yeah. Oh no, man, I don't talk. You know, you ain't got to worry about you ain't got to worry about me. Look, worried to you, nigga. You saying I look shook. That's what you saying. Cause I can show you what shook feel like. Bro, they definitely should have this nigga on for one more season, bro. They fumbled my nigga, bro. That nigga was funny as hell, bro. Right? That's another one that's funny as hell. Why you clouding my doorstep, Ronnie? I need work, Dean. Yeah, Famous was definitely about to piss himself. Speaking of pissing himself, the nigga Paul did piss himself. He was like, "Get up. You pissed on yourself. He can't have you." What did he say after that? Can't have you out here like that. Or something. I can't remember what he said about that, but that nigga was just funny, bro. His first scene was funny as hell. I ain't seen you in 3 years and you can't get up and give your little brother some love. Don't want my shit to get soggy. Ugly ass nigga. You worry about your damn shit. Get your ugly ass up and get it back up. Ghost and Kane would be a beast if they team up. Absolutely. Be a very strong force to be reckoned with. Ronnie had some serious. Yeah, that nigga was ugly as hell. Wonder if Ronnie never died and he met Breeze, how would Breeze react to him being creepy? Think Breeze would have had to get him up out of here. Because that man was anything. Or he would have got Breeze up out of here. One of the two would have happened. That's what he said. Gotta get you cleaned up. They do get soggy quick. That ain't a lie, bro. I'm just saying. Time to go to work, nigga. Shit, beach money. We're rich. He said, Roddy would have took Cole Brown's work. Big dog. That ain't running your mouth to Panessa ain't no big dog shit. That's bitch shit. Y'all think my nigga was actually the big dog or what? Got to give Ronnie credit. He was about that paper and his work. Yeah, yeah. I think that nigga was more about his work than any other power character. I'm throwing, y'all, yeah, party up in what I forgot what the way he says that. Come through. What for? You gonna want to be there. What for? Cause everybody gonna want to be there. Ronnie and Dre. I think Ronnie would have had Dre spooked because how spooked he was at Kanan, and this nigga is like weird as hell with it, and probably like just as strong as Kanan. Yeah, he would have had that nigga spooked. Imagine if Ronnie said this to Paul: "You keep your mouth, or we can get into some diabolical brutality. Find out shit the old-fashioned way." That would be if anyone get this reference. Hmm. I don't. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't get it. Yeah, unfortunately, Nick did get my nigga them hands. I didn't like it. If Graham Coleman was cast for Imperial, the Emperor of Ocean Park, Kanan would have unalived Unique. So that's something that I've been hearing. Did y'all? Is that just rumors, or was that actually, you know, confirmed that they changed the storyline once Granham was cast in a new show? Because it's folks saying that they was gonna make him Breeze, and then they switched it, which I kind of at this point make it a little hard for me to believe, but I'm not sure. But Ronnie and Lobos would be a very psychotic duo. That would be insane. Them two crazy motherfuckers working together. They dropped the ball with Ronnie. He should have had a girlfriend. Well, he almost had a girlfriend. Yep, Milan as well. Cause that nigga was insane as well. Ronnie got up like a horror movie villain. It swung the hell out. Right. Swung the hell out of pipe to D. God damn, nigga. No, I don't even like saying shit like that, but that sound hella bad. But yeah, he was beating that nigga ass after that. I could see Ronnie eliminating snaps and pop. Yeah, if he was around long enough, yep, I could have seen him eventually getting around to that. How Juliana hate her abusive husband, but okay with smashing Ronnie, who is crazy and a killer. Maybe she thought Ronnie wouldn't go hit her. You asked me if I fucked with a bitch on the regular, not if I remember her name. Do y'all think Effie will ever get out of the game or stay in it and get back with Tariq? Oh boy. I don't know. I kind of feel like they writing that story that Tariq gonna end up with Diana. I mean, I could be wrong, but if he actually making it out of the game, that ain't happening. This power. Imagine if Ronnie would have eliminated Snaps and Pop, and Breeze would have eliminated Ronnie because of that. Been nice. Ronnie meeting Kane, Braden, and Tariq. Hmm. Been interesting. So you saying the writers changed the story? What I'm saying is, was that confirmed, or was that just something that people are speculating on? Baby tripping, bro. Yeah, that the fourth trailer should be out probably, bro. I'm guessing next week. If not this week, next week for sure. That trailer should be here. Notice Breeze stands similar to how Ghost and Tariq do. I don't know about that. I mean, I just think that's a normal gesture that a lot of people do, particularly in acting. Why would shit? Why would Ronnie meet Tariq, Braden, and Kane now? You just saying stuff. They better not delay for us another year. I'm tired. Nah, ain't no way they doing that. Actually, I'm not because if you remember, I actually said that I believe that Force this season is gonna be better than Raising Canaan season 4. So I wouldn't be mad. I actually would be disappointed if it's not better because this season of Force was a build up. I mean, season of Raising Canaan. I'm calling it right now. Something crazy will happen that will make Tommy and Miguel work together. Enemy of my well, we all know that. That's pretty much been already confirmed. Crazy how Giannis says Raising Canaan is way better than his own because it is. Shit, that is that simple. It is. It's the best one. Power, like I said, the other one's just more explosive. But to me, just because it got more action and depth, don't mean that the story is better. It's a lot of dynamics that comes with it. Support Braden just bitter he got cut from the team. Hell nah, that ain't it. He just said you can tell that he just stated his genuine opinion. Clarence Ronnie right hand should have working for Unique since Ronnie died. I guess it depends on whether or not Unique decide he want to fuck with somebody that was fucking with Ronnie. You gotta think about that. Hell yeah, I already did a video on that. Anyways, though, people, I'm about to go ahead and close this thing out. We at that almost at that 2.5 hour mark. Got to get this shit ready for the morning show. But like always, appreciate everybody that stopped through. I think it was a pretty good live. We had some segments that I wasn't even planning on having, but it worked out. Turned out pretty well. I actually had a mini All American segment, which was cool. Hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check out, make my new step, and then I'll catch those of y'all that tunes in the morning. But and then also another live tomorrow at the same time, probably maybe even a little bit sooner, in a 10 or 10:30 mark. But until then, I'm gonna have to get y'all. Appreciate that, y'all.